Okay, so if you haven't been living under a rock, Draymond Green has been indefinitely suspended by the NBA for repeatedly hitting people. Reportedly, he's supposed to be attending some counseling program. Apparently, the NBA thinks this is deeper than just him hitting people, I guess. Maybe something deep internally going on with Draymond himself. Maybe he's dealing with stress or something. Who knows what's going on in that guy's brain? Probably a civil war going on in there. He's probably thinking of his next target. But all jokes aside, Draymond, he's reaching a point in his career where the antics are getting old. The antics, they're not being excused anymore. People aren't saying, oh, well, at least the Warriors are winning games. I feel like Draymond is getting to that point where he's becoming a problem for the team. Not in the sense of oh, Draymond, he's a big part of the team and he's missing games. It's more of his antics and his actions are becoming a distraction for the team. And so far this season, the Warriors have not looked good at all. They had a little nice stretch towards the beginning of the year, but Klay Thompson has been playing terrible. Draymond himself has been playing terrible. Wiggins, horrible. Really, the only guys that have been playing well this season have been Stephen Curry and Chris Paul. Those are the only two players you can really rely on, and it shows as the Warriors are 10-15 right now. The thing is with Draymond, after the whole Yusuf Nurkic thing, I don't want to hear any more excuses for him. I don't want to hear excuses that, oh, this is just who Draymond is. He's always been a tough, hard-nosed player. He's always gonna do all the dirty work. I'm tired of hearing those excuses, bro. Number one, it's not 1994 anymore. The league doesn't need enforcers like they used to. Obviously having an agitator on your team like a Dylan Brooks or a Draymond himself, it's a quality thing to have, especially in a playoff series where you need that competitive edge. Having a guy who's going to be an agitator, having a guy who's going to get in the opponent's head is valuable nowadays, right? But usually with those guys on your team, you can afford to lose them. And what I mean is your team is not going to fall down 30, or your team's defense is just going to significantly drop just because that player is absent. And the thing is with Draymond Green, while his impact isn't as great as it used to be, he's still a huge factor for this Warriors team, and him being gone hurts them a lot. Whatever team Patrick Beverley's on is still gonna be fine without him if he gets ejected. Whatever team Dylan Brooks is on is still gonna be fine if he gets ejected, because both of those players don't impact that much on the basketball court other than just being willing to do the dirty work, being willing to get in the other player's head. The thing is, Draymond, he impacts the Warriors as a passer, as a defender, and even when it comes to Stephen Curry getting easier looks, because Draymond sets good screens and he has that great passing ability out of the pick and roll. Without Draymond being there, Steph Curry's life gets harder. Klay Thompson gets harder looks. There's less space for Chris Paul to operate. Draymond still has a huge impact on the Warriors than people give him credit for. And the problem is, it's all Draymond's fault. It's all his fault. If he can just control his emotions on the floor, he wouldn't be in situations like this. And I hate that it's now branded by Warriors fans and by Draymond himself as just Draymond being him. And I hate that this is behavior that we're just coming to expect from Draymond now. And it wouldn't be like this if the Golden State Warriors would have nipped it in the bud early. I feel like the Warriors, they let way too many things slide, and I think it's safe to assume that the Warriors never really had an internal conversation with Draymond until things got really ugly. And we're seeing the effects of it now because Draymond thinks that he can get away with anything. And I'll give Draymond Green a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here, because I don't think that he goes into those situations looking to hit somebody, or I don't think he does things like that on purpose. I just think that he is terrible at controlling his emotions on the court, and I also think that he makes a lot of very impulsive decisions. Draymond just has a tendency to just flail his body around, flail his arms around, and do a little bit of acting to make it seem like he doesn't do those situations on purpose. For example, with the Steven Adams thing, I think he was trying to get a call and he just kicked his arms and legs out, and he ended up kicking Steven Adams in the nuts. Same thing with the Nurkic thing. And even though you can make the case that Draymond didn't do that on purpose, it still shows a lack of awareness and just him being reckless on the court. And people are out here calling him a dirty player. I don't think that Draymond is a dirty player, because in order to be a dirty player, you would have to go into a game, or you would have to purposely try and hurt somebody. What he did to Rudy Gobert, you can defend it by saying, oh, he was defending his teammate, he was trying to get Klay off of him or whatever. You can try and defend it however you want, but what he did to Rudy Gobert, that was dirty, that was unnecessary. Putting him in a headlock was just crazy, and he he deserved whatever suspension that he got. I think he got like 5 games for that. He deserved that suspension, bro. That was hella dangerous. That was hella reckless. And it was just overall bad look for everybody, including the Timberwolves, including the Warriors. Like, everyone in that situation, it just didn't look good for everyone there. And just off the top of my head, just the amount of situations that Draymond has got himself in. The 2016 finals where he got suspended for that game 5, it really changed the outcome of that series. The whole situation with Kevin Durant in 2019 where he basically kind of forced KD out of Golden State. The Jordan Poole situation where he falcon punched him in practice. Once again, it forced Jordan Poole out of Golden State and really caused an awkward rift between not just them two, but the entire team. And then obviously what he did this year, which caused him to get suspended twice. And not to mention the numerous amount of things he's done off the court, like the whole Snapchat incident, or when Tristan Thompson punched him in a nightclub, I think, or even when he got arrested for slapping a fan. It's just like, you could make the case that this is Draymond being Draymond, but the reason why it's gotten to that point is because in the past he was able to get away with it because the Warriors were winning. Now he can't get away with it that much because he's actively bringing them down. Not just with him being a distraction, but just him not being around because he's getting suspended. Or even when he's not suspended, he's still getting ejected from games. Like, believe me, if Draymond was the 15th or 14th man in the rotation, he wasn't as big of an impact player as he is on the Warriors right now, nobody would be talking about him in this light. But again, because of his impact, this is a conversation that needs to be had, because I think the Warriors want to put together one last championship run with Steph Curry, because Steph Curry, while he is playing some of the best basketball of his career right now, he is getting up there in age. Same thing with Klay Thompson, same thing with Draymond Green. All 3 of their Warriors core is getting up there in age, and if they want to put together one last championship level run, if they want to win one last championship together, Draymond Green has got to get his act together. Simply put, he can't keep getting away with what he's been getting away with for the past 7-8 years, especially when he's getting to the point where he's inadvertently hitting people. Now, I'm not saying that, Draymond's just going to come out of this whole suspension as a completely reformed person. He's going to stop, doing Draymond things. Like, I still think, I still think when he comes back from the suspension, he's still going to be accumulating technical fouls. He's still going to be getting ejected from games. But at least from this season, just stop hitting people. That's all I'm asking. If Draymond can come back from this suspension and he doesn't hit at least one person, that's progress in my book. If Draymond can come back and he can go the rest of this season without hurting one person, screw it. Give him the sportsmanship award. Show him some encouragement or something. That way you never have to deal with another hurt person playing the Warriors ever again. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button down below. Let me know your thoughts about Draymond Green and his suspension. Do you think he deserved it? Do you think the NBA was doing too much with it? Let me know all that down below in the comments. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video, and I'm out. Peace.